morning, everybody, and welcome back to Louisiana Homestead. Today I'm going to be making a little deer roast, and I'm about to stuff that, and also I'm going to be doing some red beans and sausage and rice. So let's get this roast prepared. Mr. E is preparing his potatoes and onions. So that's going to go with my roast and the red beans and rice. We'll probably do a cornbread with it too. But he's the potato man, so he's on the potatoes. I'll just tell you real quick what he's done so far. He's cut up his onions and he's got them browning in this black skillet, which he loves this black skillet to do his potatoes in. And he's still cutting onions over here. And there's his potatoes that he'll get cutting on as well.
They're about to tear my eyes up. They're strong, but
they are. They burning my eyes from over here. That's some strong onions.
when I do smothered potatoes like this, sometimes I'll do onions and potatoes, and it's almost half and half.
Yeah, Mama always did them like that too. She always said when you cook them like that to put a lot of onions in them.
Almost as much onions as potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, my eyes.
My eyes are burning too. Okay, this is our little deer roast we're going to be working with today. And I already have my garlic cut up and I seasoned it and I have some oil on it. So it's got salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder on it. And I'm just going to make some little slits in this roast like that. And put this seasoned garlic down into it, and I'm just going to do that with the entire roast. Alright, his onions are browning pretty good. And he's got his potatoes cut up. Adding those in now, as you can see. And what kind of potatoes are those, Mr. E?
These are some Yukon Gold that we planted.
Okay.
We plant red Lesotas, Pontiacs, and Yukon Gold.
Those are mighty gold.
Yeah, I'm cooking them. They don't seem like they have quite the shelf life sometimes, maybe. I don't know. But I want to cook some of them first.
Yeah, if they don't last as long, it makes sense to cook those first.
The good, solid, healthy ones, I think, do, but they have a tendency to get I don't know what the term is, but where they get hollow, the core goes bad on them, some of them. I seen that on YouTube or something, but I noticed it in some of mine. They're susceptible to some kind of, like if they don't get the right moisture or something just right, the core will waste away, kind of. I might not be saying that right.
But you know that something is happening and you need to use those quicker.
Yeah, I'm using them so I don't lose them.
Okay. We'll check back on you when you get them a little further along. Okay, and I got my roast stuffed now, so I'm just going to season it with some salt and pepper and garlic powder and onion powder. And I'm probably going to even put a little oil on it. So once I get that done, I'm going to put it in a little bowl and set it in the ice box, or the refrigerator rather. And just let it kind of sit for a little while before I actually bake it. That's a little mixture of oil and water. It's going to just help my seasoning to stick to it a little better.
I'll tell them what I do with these potatoes.
Okay. pat that seasoning down in there. Could use a little bit right here too. I like to do it well seasoned because that is a lot of big old hunk of meat here. Okay, that looks like it's covered pretty good. That side is covered too. Okay, so I'm just going to set it in a bowl and let it sit for probably about an hour before I even put it into the oven. Alright, back to Mr. E and his taters.
Once I got these potatoes and onions all mixed up together, getting pretty hot, and I get that bottom sticking. They're not burning, but sticking. See how them potatoes and onions are sticking down there?
Yeah, I see they're sticking a little bit.
When it starts doing that, there's all kinds of methods to cook and fry potatoes, but I like this method. I kind of conform this myself, I guess. But once they start sticking, I'll leave that fire on high and I put this lid on. Let it sit a minute. It's gonna build up a lot of heat. They ain't burning or nothing yet. It takes a little while to burn. And that gets pretty hot. And I'll cut that off and let that sit there for 5 minutes or so, and I'll come back and everything that's stuck on the bottom will be loosened up because it's smothered in there. And then I'll loosen all that up, unstick all the bottom and turn it all over, and I'll do that again. And I'll do that about 3 times. And about the second or third time I'll start putting my seasoning and tasting it about that 3rd time. And you cooking it without the fire half the time, in other words. It's sitting there smothering without no fire now.
You kind of being conservative also with your gas, aren't you?
Yeah, but it works good to get them potatoes. You get a little bit of crispy in some of them because you got them stuck. They kind of like stir fried, smother fried.
I know.
But then all that stuff sticks. But if you turn that off, it unsticks, and then it mixes all that up. And you do that 2 or 3 times, and it makes a good pot of smothered potatoes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, they've been sitting for about, what, 15 minutes? With the heat off? Not that long?
It don't have to be that long, but I was resting.
Yeah.
See, there's nothing sticking at the bottom no more. Turn all that over.
Okay. So what's the process now?
It depends on if I want them dry or if I want them moist. Sometimes I'll put water.
Hold on just a second.
Ask me what the process is now, but it depends on how I'm feeling. If I want them more dry or more moist, sometimes I say I want wet potatoes, and I'll put more water and cook it up. But I don't know. First thing though, after you take that lid off and make sure there's nothing sticking on the bottom again, you repeat that process. So you got to get your fire going on. So I turn my fire on. When it feels like the potatoes are getting halfway cooked, I'll start putting a little salt and pepper. I'll put a little salt, put a little red pepper, and when they get really close to cooked, then I'll put a little garlic powder in there and tweak it with a little more salt and pepper. So you just repeat this process till they get cooked. So I got it on now. I'm gonna get it real hot again. Put my lid back on and turn it off again. I'm gonna let it get hot enough to where it sticks again.
Okay.
And I might put a little water in it. So I do that sometimes. Put a little water if it feels like it ain't cooked enough to get them soft.
All right. We'll check you back in a little bit.
But water's optional. I don't know if they can hear it, but it's starting to get real hot in that bottom. I want to start cooking.
Looks good.
A bit of that water I put in it, but that water's going to quickly cook out. See, the bottom's already sticking again. So, 30, 40 seconds of that, or more, a minute or something.
Okay.
And then we'll repeat that process.
Okay, I'm ready to get my red beans going, and I've got 2 cans of red beans. These are some that I canned myself, these red beans. You can use some canned beans from the store. You can use dry beans, whatever you prefer. I'm just showing y'all how I do it, so come on. When I bought my canning stuff, it came with this little handy thing, and it sure works good to take the lids off of these jars. Look at there. That nice and easy. Just pops right off. When you hear a good seal like that, you know your stuff's good in there. Alright, I'm going to get that into this pot. Okay, there's my first jar. These I cooked a good bit before I even canned them, this jar. But you really don't need to cook them before you can them. These I didn't cook before I canned them, and you can tell the beans are a little more whole in this jar. You see that? Some good red beans. And I'm going to just pass a little bit of water through these jars to get everything out of them. Okay, there's my water. Now, of course, that's 2 quarts. Stir that up. These beans are already cooked, y'all, but I'm going to add some sausage to them, and I'm going to cook them a little bit more so that smoke flavor can get through there. This is some of the smoked sausage me and Mr. E did earlier in the year, or maybe even at the end of last year. I don't remember exactly, but it was from last deer season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of just leaving them like this, I'm actually going to be trying something different. I'm going to cut the smoked meat out of them and put it into the beans like ground meat, kind of. I'm going to crumble that smoked sausage down in there. Okay, we're going to add some salt to this and some pepper. I like a good bit of pepper, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. And I'm going to add some dehydrated Zydeco Chop Chop, which is onions and peppers. About a handful of that. Stir that all in. And since my sausage doesn't have a lot of fat in it, I'm going to add a little avocado oil. And stir that in as well. I'm going to put a lid on it and put it on the burner on low heat. Because like I said, these are already cooked. So put them back here and turn them on low. And I'll just keep an eye on them. Let them cook probably for about 30 minutes. Probably let them cook about 30 minutes or so, and I'll keep checking them and stirring and make sure they don't stick. Okay guys, we're ready to get back with that roast and get it prepared in our pan. Alright, here's our pan. We're going to add a little oil to the bottom of it. I'm just using some avocado oil. You can use vegetable oil. You could use whatever you like to use to oil your pans with. And then I have this roast. It's been sitting for about an hour, I suppose. And I'm going to add to that. It's all seasoned. It's all stuffed with garlic. I'm just going to add some onions in to my pan like this. Have a medium-sized onion cut up here that I'm using. And I'm also going to add into that and we're also going to add into that some little baby carrots. Just a few. Let that all cook together nicely. And I'm going to cover that with some foil. I normally would use one of those cooking bags, but since I'm using my small oven, you're not supposed to use the cooking bags in the small ovens. So I'm just going to seal it up with some foil. And I'm going to bake it at about 350, and I'll check it in a couple of hours because it's going to take a while for this to get tender. I'm even going to, I decided to take that off and add a little soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce right on top of this, just to get a little extra flavor. And I decided I'm going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan too. So maybe about a half a cup of water. And also I want to season those onions and carrots with some onion powder and garlic powder and salt and pepper. Okay, now I feel better about that. Now I'm going to put that foil on there. I feel that a little bit better about it. Alright. And it's going to go into the oven just like that. And like I said, I'll check it in a couple of hours. It's going to take a little while to get tender. Even though the meat thermometer will say that it's done, because I will check it for doneness, of course. And a lot of people do that. But it really takes cooking beyond that doneness to get it to a tender texture that I want it at. There's his finished potatoes.
Well, I wasn't planning on eating them tomorrow, so they're really not finished. They still need to be cooked a little bit.
You mean you wasn't planning on eating them today?
Today.
Okay.
But I'm going to get a little bite anyway.
Alright. Because you're just so hungry?
Yeah. I'm very hungry. What is this?
Chicken and dumplings?
We don't eat that much, do we?
No.
You make that, what, twice a year maybe?
Maybe.
But
I just had extra chicken, so I needed to do something with it, and I thought that would be good.
Well, I tasted those beans that you made for tomorrow's meal, but we're gonna have plenty. And they were like happy comfort food. Did you tell people how you did them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, man, they are good.
It's a good way to do beans.
Might be one of my new favorites. Yeah, look at, man, they are so good. Good Lord.
And I opened, well, I had a little leftover corn I didn't want to waste, so I warmed that up, and some leftover okra too that I had cooked. What was it, night before last? I cooked that okra. Well, the okra is coming in, so we could eat okra every day.
Oh, it's delicious. Do I have enough?
I think so. And I fixed you a glass of tea over there too.
I can't hardly hold the plate because some of this is hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's the chicken.
Don't burn
It's
yourself.
the chicken.
Whatever you
But
do.
I want to taste this on camera for you.
Okay, thank you.
Because oh man, you cut the skin off of that homemade smoked sausage we got, and I guess she told y'all, but wow is all I can say for real. It's like one of my new favorites. Good.
Can you taste the chicken and dumplings too, and just
I don't
see
want to
how
take that
that
bean
is?
taste out of my mouth. They're good.
They good? All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you get to your meal. We're gonna eat, y'all, and we'll see y'all in a little bit. It took my little roast about 4 hours to get as tender as I wanted it. It came out delicious. I was very satisfied with it. I hope you'll all share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.